A Tiger in the Zoo, a poem by Leslie Norris. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Stalks means walk, vivid means bright, and rage means anger. In the opening stanza of his poem, the poet describes his psychological study of a tiger's mind when it is caged. The tiger, one of the most beautiful creation of the creator, is locked in a cramped cage. He moves very slowly and quietly in a threatening way. He has vivid stripes on his body and soft velvet pads. The tiger is in quiet rage as he is locked and his freedom has been curtailed. Thus, he is unable to show his anger. There in the case, the tiger seems to be frustrated and helpless as he could not come out of the cage in the open and enjoy his freedom. The tiger of the cage does not want to be a mere showpiece or a source of entertainment for human beings. The poet beholds a satyagrah for freedom in his eyes. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A B C D. In the first stanza of this poem, the poet has used four poetic devices. In the first line of the first stanza, he stalks. Here, the poet has used the word he for the tiger. Thus, here is personification of the tiger. In the third line, pads of velvet, there is metaphor. In the last line, the word quiet is repeated, so the third poetic device is repetition. In the fourth line, quiet rage, the poetic device in quiet rage is oxymoron. The second stanza. He should be lurking in the shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Lurking means remaining hidden as to wait in ambush. Sliding means moving smoothly. Plump means having a full rounded shape. In the second stanza, the poet advocates for the liberty of the caged tiger as it longs for freedom. The poet thinks that unless one is free, one is not alive. He wants to see a tiger hiding in a shadowy dark place in the long grass to attack the fat deer who comes to drink water at the water hole. Thus, in this stanza, the poet suggests that the tiger should be allowed to live in its natural habitat, as it is cruelty to keep animals in small enclosures of the zoo away from their natural habitat. Stanza 3. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws, terracing the village. The poet says that when the tiger is in jungle, it prowls around the houses situated at the jungle's edge. He terrifies the villagers by snarling at them. He also shows his fangs and bright claws to the villagers to terrify them. It is essential for him to do this. He defends himself by scaring the villagers who dare not enter his territory, lest he should harm them. Stanza 4. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The poet expresses deep sympathy at the miserable condition of the tiger that is imprisoned in a cell made of concrete. The poet says that behind the bars, the tiger is feeling cramped and suffocated as its freedom is restricted. He is moving slowly and quietly along the length of the cage. He cannot come out of it because strong bars fixed at the concrete cell cannot be broken by him. He ignores the visitors because they all are feelingless, as none of them tries to help him out of the prison. None of the visitors respect his freedom. The poet has used alliteration in this stanza. In concrete cell, the poetic device is alliteration, and in behind bars, the poetic device is alliteration. The fifth stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In the fifth and last stanza of this poem, the poet again takes the readers to the cage. The poet is sorry for the fate of the tiger, who is sad and dejected in the concrete cell that man has put him in. When he hears the last sound created by the patrolling cars of the Jew God's authorities, he stares at the shining stars with his brilliant eyes, remembering his good and pleasant days in the forest. Thus, the poem ends up at the point where it had started, leaving before readers a moral issue of cruelty to animals. In the last stanza, the poet has used the poetic device repetition. The word brilliant is repeated. Brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars.